Yeah, morning everybody. You're welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. And today being Wednesday, of course, it's another dear Bunmi day. I mean, how time flies. Just yesterday we were saying Happy New Year, and the month is almost coming to an end. I hope this 2023 won't move as fast as 2022, because before we ever got time to acknowledge the year, it was all over. Okay, today is Dear Bunmi Day, and I have with me in the studio Mrs. Fashano. Okay, Mrs. Jumoke Fashano, of course, you know, she's the champion of women's interests in this Dear Bunmi program that we have. Good morning, Auntie Bunmi. I hope you're fine. I hope you're well up and kicking. It will be well for all of us in Jesus' name. Right, so Philip, please give me the Dear Bunmi paper. Let me start firing from all cylinders. Thank you very much. We're on YouTube and you're on Facebook, so you can join us. Morning, madam. How are you? Morning, yes. I hope all is well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
I don't want to ask how old you are, but it could be a subject of debate.
I'm 23 years old.
I won't dispute that. Fine, Mama. How is Oga?
He's doing well.
You must be frightening him these days.
No.
Are you sure?
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable. Okay, so let's get down to business, Mrs. Fashano. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Some of the stories we have here. She's a bully in bed. Could my daughter be randy at 7?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Is this contraceptive method foolproof? This one will pass this one to Dr. Ayeni.
Okay.
Either of them could be my baby's father. Cynthia. This one's, what's her name again? Justina says her husband gave her a venereal disease. Hi, yeah. And Walter says she hurts me badly. Let's look for the safer ones here. Okay, so there's Jare, and she caught her 7-year-old daughter fiddling with herself, you know, and that she made a joke out of it, telling her she should do so only in her bedroom. Why would you say that? What kind of a parent is this? As it is a private thing to do. Have I handled the issue well, and is my daughter's libido going to be uncontrollable in the future? That we can't run away from this problem now. More so where we're surrounded by, you know, sexual innuendos and activities. If you go to TikTok, it's always about front or back or this or that. Part of the danger of giving any child a smartphone is through the influence of a third party. They can easily have access to, you know, porno sites and so on and so forth. So it is something we have to learn to live with. But how best does one handle this thing? At 7, this one is already, you know.
Okay, Uncle Jimmy, I would have been alarmed, but I read from somewhere, I can't remember the source now,
Yes.
that says children, the organs, they would explore.
Okay.
They would explore.
Yes.
Here's what I suggest. In those days, when you have a newborn baby, the baby does not open the eyes till they're much older, like at the times a month.
A month, yes.
But definitely when you're doing naming, which is the 7 days, most times the baby's eyes are closed.
Yes.
I understand that the supplements or the medications that we use nowadays is part of why they come almost with their eyes open.
Yes.
Here's what I suggest the mother should do. Number 1, to be sure that the child has not already started exploring further than just playing with herself. Ensure she does not have a phone. Monitor the programs and win the confidence of the child. The best and the safest way, I would think, is to teach this child yourself. There are some places that exist in your body, but it's not a toy. The same way.
I like the way you put it. It's not a toy.
It's not a toy, so you're not supposed to play with it.
Yes.
Those kinds of, particularly to win the confidence of that child, she'll be able to know exactly how far gone, or if it's just the child just being inquisitive, or somebody else is doing it with her. So that's my thought.
I guess I've had a recent episode of a parent also discovering that, the child, a bit older though, porno sites and so on and so forth, a bit older. And I think it's a big problem. And it might just get worse by the day. And that is because we even, as a government and as a people, we put no control on all these sexualities. You go to end of year school activities and you see the way the little girls dance and what they tend to want to show off, and you then know that we have a problem. After all, we were all children before, and we did have cultural dances in our young days. You dare not, expose any indecent dance or whatever it is. So it's a problem, and I think that at some point you might need a child counselor. I don't know if we have enough of them trained now to go around, but definitely you might need the services of a counselor. The reason why I'm not talking about the religious aspect is it's nice, but there's a lot of hypocrisy in that area. They could do more damage if you're not careful.
Uncle Jimmy, here's what
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there is no school where parenting is taught. So I fear for the next generation. You see a lot of females themselves who are still uncultured. They're so uncouth. They really do not know what is right from wrong. You see someone fixing frontal for a 3-year-old child. Now, so I think consciously, you mentioned the government. Here's what I think. I think the government should play their role of course, as you go to in the US, curriculum encourages for you to do social work. So I think it's important if we're not deliberate about it. They think is it work they call it? They think they're work, they're happening. But the danger about not understanding sexuality, whatever you do not understand, you will misuse, you will abuse, and it will just keep getting worse. So yes, I think the responsibility starts from the home, but you see a lot of fathers and mothers, people that are becoming parents, while they to themselves don't even know any better. That's number one.
Yeah, because because we are losing values. Just throughout last week or the past 2 weeks, I've had about 4 times to call on the government if they have a social welfare unit to educate people, for example, on these pranks, these so-called pranks that they do, and pull off women's wigs and or abuse them. Look at what you're wearing. You're a prostitute. So these women who don't know you from Adam, and then you put it on screen. But we don't seem to have our politicians. Unfortunately, most of them are more concerned with keeping power and gaining power. The things that would make our society better, and these things have a ripple effect. It looks as if across the board there's a general free for all.
Or decay. Here's my plea.
Yes.
Let all of us become responsible. Personally, I don't mind my business.
Okay.
If I'm with my husband, it annoys him. If I'm with my son, they complain. I don't mind my business. There are times I was driving through an inner street, and there's a woman who looks like the grandmother to that about 8-year-old child. There's a mother, and there was a man that looked like 50 playing with the child, with that 8-year-old girl. I parked. I told my driver to park, and they thought I was going to buy something, and I caught their attention, and I asked the grandmother, I said, what exactly are you selling? Why is this man playing such nonsensical plays? He said, this is our family. I said, what stupid family? I told the man, I said, you have no business play with this 8-year-old child. Even if she's your daughter, would you drop the child? So encouraging and pleading with Nigerians. Let's not leave it to the government. There was a day in Nigeria, I went for a party. On my way back, it was already getting to like 7. Near an uncompleted building, there were 5 men with a girl that looked like a teen. And there was a man that looked like 60 amongst them. I stood and I caught their attention, and I told the girl, I said, you have no brain. Inside this dark place, what are you doing with 5 men? You wanted to tell me. I said, if I arrest you, you won't know if I'm police or not. If I carry you into my car.
You don't look like police. Police not defined like this.
There are 5 women. So I'm saying that if you think the decay does not concern you,
it will come to you.
You live in that society. There are students I see on the road, and they're what do you call this one that their boxers are showing?
But this thing you spoke about, they call that one
sagging. Oh yes, the boy told me he had tummy upset. I said, if I box you, that tummy upset will turn to headache. Would you drug that thing up?
You know that increasingly, I'm a very strong woman's advocate. I believe in the sanctity of the woman and so on and so forth. But the women too should respect themselves. If you go to the social media and you see the way they dress to parties, sometimes cleavage, emphasizing back and front, and you say to yourself, gone are the days women were gracefully dressed. Gracefully. You say woman, she's gracefully dressed, but showing a lot of cleavage, a lot of backside and so on and so forth. And that's what's not led to the abuse of women. And I hope that if you don't fix it, one of them being victim. You see what somebody pours water on you or takes a wig off, all in the name of prank. It's coming up. And one day, I usually tell Philip, I hope that one day somebody doesn't walk into a manhole or into a well, and then you have a case of murder or at least manslaughter. We need to regulate these things. We are in a running battle with the social media. You know what I'm going to say is talk about those weddings. The truth is, before these women that put on the display, before they realize it, a lot of young men are not attracted to them for anything that is serious. They're not. Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that is what you cover that even has value.
Value.
Sexy is not exposing everything.
How do you know that? We are the ones. We are the.
I'm telling you, sexy is you having to use your imagination.
Yes.
For men, they don't get it. For men are like children. If you
Here we go again.
Oh yes.
Here we go again.
If you give a child a box of chocolate, maybe the child will eat 2 and get fed up. But if you cut small and give the child will keep coming for more.
So that's how you keep us.
Yes. I mean, you shouldn't expose everything. It becomes valueless.
Mrs. Fashion,
yes.
This is a town hall. This is different.
Don't finish the sentence.
No, I won't finish the sentence. But I knew that you drop a bomb.
No. So women that go half naked, the stars they see on stage don't wear those things to the market. You want a man to value you. Don't sell yourself cheap.
You know what it is, even ironically, it's so commonplace now that it doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
In fact, it's ridiculous. I find it revolting,
and disgusting.
And disgusting, even as a man. Even though you don't expect me to look at any woman anyhow, but sometimes
you just look and pass. It's not.
Look and pass.
Everything is already on display.
Okay. Anita wants to know. I wish I could call Dr. Yeni on this one.
Which one is that?
This one says that Anita says her method of contraception is withdrawal.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And so she's asking whether it makes sense or not.
No, I'm sure she knows it doesn't make sense. Now,
that's why she's asking.
That's why she's asking.
Yes.
She's just looking for validation.
Yes.
Yes, she knows it's not.
How can it make sense?
No, it depends on how serious she is. And most times you have to decide what is the most critical thing. In business, we call it your critical success factor. What do you... Maybe she finds it and her partner, they find that exciting. So it's more for that benefit, but definitely not for to prevent.
As a form
No,
of
no, that's not it.
contraception, no.
So it depends. I mean, if they can take the risk, then they go ahead. But if she's serious about birth control, then there has to be something more.
Let me open up our lines, especially in relation to the first story.
Yes.
Because I know that quite a number of people out there would want to weigh in on what we're talking about. 0700 993 993 993 and the female line 01465 7190. I place more premium on the female line, hoping that women will weigh in on this. Let's get the first call.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, do you know one funny thing? Most times I'm always on TikTok. And do you know whenever you raise that topic of a woman should respect and keep themselves, they look at you like a novice. Like everybody will start attacking you that what do you mean by somebody should keep themselves? Mora, they've lost it totally. And these people that are attacking you are mothers. What do you expect them to inculcate in their children?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that's you want to.
We're talking about TikTok. TikTok is a different continent. When I first got onto TikTok, honestly, I was sounding like an ambulance. Wow. I was astonished. Here's what I think. Let everybody, I don't go under people's comment to say my genuine opinion. Use the platform. I mean, if for every negative platform showing decay, state yours and talk. Eventually, we'll catch up. Yes.
Because we've gone,
Astray.
so we're not singling out women. I hope, but let's have a matured understanding of what the problem is. Men can do all kinds of things and get away with it. That's the truth. I mean, the sanctity of a woman must be preserved. I believe that men can be rough, they can be whatever. Not that they're permitted. This is not a man-woman issue. It's not about women's rights. But our women should put themselves even where God has placed them. They are mothers. We allow our fathers be drunkards, be all kinds of things. But we want our mothers to preserve themselves. I wonder how some of these people feel when they feel knowing that their children could also have access to this. It's terrible. If you look at what's going on in the porn sites now, you won't believe it. Elderly women in their 50s and 60s, Nigerians, with their faces wide open.
Uncle Jimmy, here's what I'm going to say about that.
Yes.
Number one is we need to get over idolizing wealth that you cannot explain.
Yeah, explain, yes.
You see people claiming to be what they're not. You see someone coming out to say they've had intercourse with animals just to gain followership.
Followership, yes.
And then when people start, then she starts saying she was only joking, she was catching cruise. One thing I think is that for both male and female, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything.
And don't forget, this is the part that I also like to stress. If you make the simple mistake of dropping something in the social media, it follows you for life.
Correct.
It follows you for life. So, and I don't think poverty is an excuse for bad behavior. I always say that. Look at our public transportation. That's even in some countries, animals won't go inside some of our buses. And instead of our government to say to people, if you want to get involved in public transportation, it is serious business and these are the guidelines. Rather, for political gains, they lower the standards. They lower the standards and allow all sorts of things to happen. I got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Daily Digest return the moment. Hello, my name is Abdul. My friends ask me how I stay updated with current happenings around me despite my busy work schedules. That's my secret. Everywhere I go, my radio goes with me. In the morning on my way to work and even in the office. I'm always tuned in to 99.3 Nigeria Info. It keeps me going through the craziness of my everyday. My radio is my best friend. My radio is 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Papa, mama, brother, sister, everybody I
welcome you to 2023. This 2023 way the Disu, life go better. Everybody go to live everywhere life for inside Obodo Lagos. Sake of say this 2023, everybody go dey free from Agberoan. Lagos go free from Gosolo. Lagos go free from flood where they full everywhere inside rain and they never get solution to them. Lagos go free from bad road them. Lagos go free from local market we no get time. Lagos go free for robbery where they shell for inside Gosolo. But in our hand we go use to choose better life for ourselves. Vote for Jandor. Make we comot Lagos from one individual hand where they summer everybody for. Vote for governor. We go get mind of himself. Where we go be proud of every time, every day. Fight for Lagos. Fight for your right. Jafeko Jafetoe. Vote PDP. PDP power.
Everybody
We all have that one friend that always hides everything from everyone else. Like my guy Sheon, that got 1 gig free data when he downloaded my MTN NG app. Did he share the gist with us?
No!
But we found out, and even something he doesn't know, that we get up to 2 gig data if we recharge 500 naira or more on my MTN NG app with our debit card.
You don't mean it!
That's not all though. We also get 10% extra on every airtime recharge made on my MTN NG app.
Wow!
Will we share the gist with him?
Yes! Yes.
That's correct. You get 1 gig free data when you download my MTN NG app. Up to 2 gig when you recharge 500 naira and above with your debit card on my MTN NG app. And 10% extra on every recharge made on the app. So what are you waiting for? Download my MTN NG app today to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, here he comes.
Guy, any gist today?
What are we doing today?
Pig protein breakfast. That's the secret to how mom wakes up early, makes breakfast for us, and runs off to work. How daddy works most nights and still gets up early to drop me at school. No matter how busy they are, they're never too tired to play with me. And that's because they never leave home without a pig protein breakfast.
Start every day with a pig breakfast enriched with protein to keep you going.
Pig. Rich for your pig.
Please listen to this public service announcement. Are you or anyone around you having rashes on the face, hands, feet, and any part of the body that may be filled with liquid or pus, with or without a sudden fever, headache, body pain, and weakness? You may be infected with monkeypox. Monkeypox is an infectious disease transmitted from animals to humans and from humans to humans. To protect yourself and loved ones, avoid contact with sick or dead animals. Avoid skin-to-skin contact with persons infected with or showing symptoms of monkeypox. Do not share, touch, or handle clothing and personal items of an infected person. Stay safe by washing your hands frequently with soap under running water, especially after caring for or visiting sick people. Early detection saves lives.
If you or anyone around you shows symptoms, please visit the nearest health facility for treatment to help stop the spread of the disease. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health, NCDC, and partners.
Do you want to double your chances of landing your next big job? Then get on the Jobberman Soft Skills Train. The Soft Skills training is completely free, and you can access it on multiple online platforms, including WhatsApp and Telegram. Join thousands of other certified champions across the country who can attest to the impact of having soft skills in today's job market. Visit www.jobberman.com/soft skills to begin the journey into a better you.
Guy, I'm in front of your house.
God! What is this I'm looking at?
How fun.
Last. Now you this changer at the pillow. Wait, wasn't it 2 days ago that you bashed your car? And now you're driving another one?
Oh boy, now blessings on blessings on blessings.
Hey! You just upgraded like that.
Guy, I beg be quiet. Is that how people buy cars? It's the car my insurance company, AXA Mansa, gave me while my car is getting fixed.
It's a lie. AXA Mansa gave you makeshift car.
Yeah.
The same company that took your car to Better Auto Shop, all within 24 hours. Guy, why you no show me the way? Before my insurance company make me pack car for 3 months, they jump boss round Lagos.
AXA Mentored Moto Insurance is the one-time insurance feels like an upgrade and leaves you wanting to say thank you for what you truly deserve. Visit www.axamentor.com or call 0700 AXA Mentor today. AXA Mentor.
People of Nigeria don't talk, them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria.
He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today, Lagos people still they enjoy from all the better things wey Jaburata for Lagos.
As it can't be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria.
Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as a vice president. Vote APC.
Who be the president? We go vote. Bola Tinubu.
My people, we bring to you here and now the Glow Festival of Joy promo.
It's a life-changing prize galore from Glow.
A stadium full of gidigba prizes to be won.
20 brand new houses,
24 brand new cars,
100 generators,
200 sewing machines, 1,000 rechargeable fans,
and thousands upon thousands of other unbelievable prizes.
Just dial *611# to enter and win in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data during the promo period and you could win a house. And if you recharge or load data from 500 naira to 10,000 naira monthly, weekly or daily, you stand a chance to win a brand new car plus other great prizes.
Don't just sit around scratching your chin.
Dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Bastion
Since
HMO.
I signed up with Bastion HMO, I don't worry about hospital bills. I get access to top quality healthcare and still save enough for other things. They even help me pre-book my doctor's appointments. Bastion HMO also gives me access to over 1,700 hospitals and clinics with the freedom to switch whenever. I feel so in control of my finances and health.
Call 0800 Bastion or visit www.bastionhmo.com to purchase a plan that suits your needs. Bastion Health, the HMO that puts you in control.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back. And as during the break, I discussed with Mrs. Fashanu, and she also thinks that maybe we are looking at a mental health issue here. Could you expatiate on that?
Take, for instance, a female that loves herself and sees herself for the value that she is will not think she has to seek validation by displaying the goods. There's no how you know if you walk into
the good that the Lord has done.
Yeah, if you walk into a mall, you'll know the most expensive jewelries because they are locked.
Yes.
You know the most expensive bags because they are changed down.
Yes.
The cheap ones are left for anybody to carry. So I think it's a lot of mental health issues that exist. So I want to encourage eventually that organizations should have, along their medical whatever, let there be retainership with some mental health people to talk to these people, in schools, in university. Let's engage. I think it's a lot of mental health thing. If you have value for yourself, you won't put yourself out. There are a lot of things you won't do, and then you understand that money itself is a tool.
Okay, so let's because lots of our leaders like it spread. They don't want us to spend too much time on
one topic.
So I'll look at this one now. Cynthia, either of them could be my baby's father. I am 7 months pregnant, and I'm not sure who the father of my baby is. I don't know if it is my current boyfriend or the one before him. Oh, wow. Or like my late dad would say, Olodeo. To be honest, I am still in love with my ex-boyfriend and very much want the baby to be his. This is a messy situation. We split up about the time I got pregnant because he had roving eyes. When I told him about the likelihood of his being responsible for my pregnancy, he said I should let him know when the baby is born, that he would want definite proof that he was the father and not my current boyfriend. I think about my ex all the time and I want us to get together again. I'm hoping fervently that the child is his so that he would come back to me. This is a messy situation.
I think that somehow there is, in the minds of some young people, they think that relationship should have a spare tire. Meaning they see themselves like vehicles.
Yes.
So you should always have a spare tire. So you end up finding yourself in that kind of situation. Now, when you begin to think beyond your immediate satisfaction, you take responsibility for the life you're bringing forth. Here's what I think she can do. Hopefully, she let the current boyfriend know there's a possibility that the baby may not be yours. If she has access to go and do a DNA even while the pregnancy is there, so that she can know, and hopefully she will turn a new leaf, knowing that when you bring a life into this world, that's a lot of responsibility on his own.
But the turnaround was quite quick, because what it means if she doesn't know who the father is. So we are talking about a 1 or 2 week turnaround between the old boyfriend and the new boyfriend.
From what she said, why would you go into another relationship when you still love the person you were with?
I don't understand.
I was saying it yesterday that there's some women that it's somebody else that will pay for the wig, it's someone else that will pay for the jewelry, it's somebody else that will pay for. So too, if you have to catch up with that kind of level and you have one that can't be responsible, so you have to date several. So hopefully we're hoping that by the time there's more self-awareness, by the time there's more self-love, by the time you understand that there will always be consequences to every action, there is always an action, then there will be the consequence. So you'll be able to think deeply and weigh if the consequence is worth the action you're taking.
I also wonder how in between partners you don't see the need for you to get some contraception, to prevent something like this.
No, I think number one is like intercourse has become so deregulated.
This is fashion. This is a new year.
Yeah. No, it has become so deregulated, and it has become more of a recreational thing.
That's the truth.
And that's because whatever you do not know the use, you will misuse it. Yes. So that's how come
even parts of your body you misuse.
It will be misused.
You can misuse your eyes.
Yes, because you do not really properly.
You can misuse the mouth because you're eating what you should not eat.
Yes.
Okay. So look. So what would happen, of course, is when she has the baby, that she has to do a DNA.
If I talk now, I know from your part of where you grew up.
Yes.
There used to be a lot of occurrence that two men, grown men, would be fighting during the naming ceremony.
There was a time, there was a famous one between a top traditional ruler,
yes,
and the permanent secretary in Lagos. Yeah,
correct. That's what I'm saying.
It was public.
Yes.
Don't name them.
No, I'm not naming them. No, it's even
the child in question now should be in her 30s. And you remember the song of Taniejo?
Yeah.
Between the two musicians.
Is this possible?
Yeah, we had.
No, so
this was before the era of DNA, and you had to look, look at the features of the child, like that famous politician.
Yes, that once they see the face,
that once they see the ears.
Yes. Then you know that your genes are strong. So there's some things that had always been.
Let's take a contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir.
Madam, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yes, the first topic that you created, parents should know that they are the first teacher of their children.
Correct.
We should not leave everything for the school teachers. And parents should stop destroying the life of their children. you see a 10-year-old child, taking phone to school, an Android phone, given to him or her by their parents, is totally wrong. And parents again should engage their children in sex education. I was with a guy the other day and he was telling his son, "This is your kokoro." I said, "What is kokoro?" Tell him the name. These are his private parts. Tell him the names that nobody should be allowed to touch it. It's your private part. They all belong to you. Not tell the child, "This is your kokoro, this is your this." It's totally wrong. Take care.
Thank you.
I don't know about kokoro, but kokoro was the name we grew up with.
No, but what he's saying makes a lot of sense.
Teach
them the correct
names and yes.
And most times, because the family structures are really disrupted, you see a lot of children seeking validation and acceptance. And so a child who does not find love from a father or a mother will see a boy and they're so cheap. Just a bottle, take them to one eatery and 500 naira food, and you see that is all done.
Okay, let's take look at. Hello, good morning.
Yeah,
that one is the trader. Okay. he don't press the button for customer care. Hello.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
This is Adesha from Ikorodu.
Yes.
Your new voice fine. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, ma.
See, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Uncle Jimmy. I don't want to talk before, but being a teacher, a lot is going on. And I continue to see that this thing is coming from home. Naturally, this thing, parents are now having a feedback why their children are telling them this is what you should do. This is what I notice mostly now. How can you leave your own parents out to school and is the teacher you want the child to now do magic? I don't know. Is that one possible?
Yeah, we lost that. One more, please. Just one more. Hello? 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 Okay, don't worry. Let's just... Hello?
Hello, good morning, Mr. Jimmy.
Morning.
This is Anne. I'm calling from Morili Coca.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I thank that lady. I have forgotten her name.
Thank you.
She and the Sisioge, Iveti Bakare.
Yes.
They made my day. The other day, Sisioge came and her. They made my day. Most of these ladies, especially those ones that usually have two boyfriends. What I see it as an investment. They want to have children for those men that have landed properties, such as houses, so that their children will have inheritance from them. It's not that they really want to get married to this man, just to have children for this man, so that they can have share of the houses when he acquires it. That's what they do, investment. So this lady is saying that she does not know what to do, what to do. She knows maybe the other person has more houses than the current one, so she wants to pin the child on that first boyfriend.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. While she was talking, I was reading the next story, which is a lady called Justina, and she says that whenever I see my husband, I feel like physically hurting him.
Wow.
At the end of the day, she thinks he passed on a venereal disease to her. And when she went to the doctor gave her something to use, but the man refused to use anything. Okay, I don't want to go into the details here, but this is the thrust of it. The man has refused to go to his clinic because he has a feeling that he's feeling guilty or whatever it is. And that he even had the nerve to accuse the lady of playing fast and loose. And she says she feels like killing him. First thing I'll tell you, Justina, whatever you do, don't kill him.
Don't kill him.
You can walk away, but that's her husband.
She can walk away.
For that?
Yes.
She can or she should?
Well, it's up to her, really. Most times there are a lot of reasons people stay in a marriage. One of it is, what will people say? The other one is they're economically incapable of staying alone by themselves. For her to be saying she feels like, and so when they feel that there's no choice, that's why they think it's only death that can do the separation. But it's better for them to go their separate ways, particularly as refused to go for treatment. So no matter how many times she gets treated, she will always get reinfected. So what I think, she should look for people that can talk to him.
Dear Bunmi says something here. She says, much as you would like to kill your husband, you still have to convince him to see a doctor. She has to go see the doctor. Even if it means inviting a doctor home, she has to see a doctor. But she also says that there are other ways by which you can pick up infections apart from through the sexual act, like toilets and surroundings, for instance. And she says that a doctor I discussed your symptoms with said he couldn't diagnose the trouble with absolute certainty, but that it sounds that maybe it was just thrush, which can be picked up anywhere. Okay, because she described it here, but I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, she described it that he was itchy and he had sores and some bad.
No, but Uncle Jimmy, if she had gone for examination, the examination will show exactly the kind of infection and the possible sources of that infection.
No, what he said that the doctor said yes, it's a venereal disease, and gave her a cream and antibiotics. But the husband, you see, the thing is, whether the husband passed it to her or not, he still has to, because he could have.
Even if it is just thrush alone, the man may not feel the symptoms, and it will still transfer back to her. So what Auntie Bunmi said is the best thing. I was saying she should look for anyone that could convince the man to go see a doctor.
Should she call a family meeting?
I think it depends on the kind of family it comes from. There are some families that will see it like gist and will laugh and mock her and the man and not do anything.
Or should she tell her own parents?
She should tell whoever the man respects.
Sometimes these things can get complicated if you tell a third party.
No, already it's complicated.
Why can't she invite the doctor home and then hook him?
No, if she's someone that is financially stable.
Yes.
There are times when if you step out and you don't say anything, if the talk comes from you, the man will feel offended and embarrassed. But you trigger the conversation, and then he's the one calling people to intervene.
Okay. So you're suggesting that, okay, she should say, I'm not doing again.
Exactly.
Packing load.
Yes.
What if the man calls her bluff?
And then she goes.
She might not be ready. Mrs. Facha,
no. Number one is, eventually.
There are no men outside. That's what we hear.
Who says people can't stay without men?
I know. Some people can't stay without men.
Some people can't, though. But she has to do something, definitely.
Because at the end of the day, if you walk out of your husband, you're going to end up with a boyfriend.
You know, like what we're saying, she wants to address the issue. So there are some things that unless you keep trying everything, you won't know which one is going to work. But sitting down, not doing anything, and being reinfected is not.
Well, I mean, she could get herself treated and insist the man shouldn't come anywhere near her until he gets himself treated.
That's an option.
When the thing hungry and reach one point, he will run to the doctor.
Or he goes outside.
He's already gone outside now.
So he's already on the streets.
There's already a suspicion that he's on the streets. Let's see if we can quickly squeeze in one more. She's a bully. No, I don't want. This one is too. She hurts me badly. Let's talk about Walter. Walter is in his early 60s. He says he's youthful, fit. Why does he say all this? Youthful, fit, and looking and forward-looking. I've lived in my own house for over 10 years. Okay. Then his wife died.
Okay.
And the two children of the marriage are happily married.
Okay.
So about 3 years after his wife died, he met this divorcee who was an assistant principal in a secondary school in my hometown. She was a lovely looking woman and encouraged my friendship. Was set. We met as often as we could and telephoned regularly. Even though I made her believe I wasn't loaded, I spent a lot of money on her and her two sons. So damn, you see what I had. It was when she decided that she should ask for a transfer to Ibadan, where he was based. To my utter surprise, She stopped any contact with me, and when I went to her school, I was told she had resigned. I don't understand this story. She decided to ask for transfer to Ibadan, where he was. Okay? And then to his utter surprise, she stopped any contact with him. And when I went to her school, said she had resigned. Can you then imagine how amazed I was when I heard from her recently? She carried on as if nothing had happened, telling me she had to relocate because her ex-husband was harassing her. I think I've heard this story before. She told me none of her feelings would change. Why? What was the absence, the short absence? What could have been responsible for it? I think maybe she found a new lover and it didn't work.
That's one possibility. The second possibility could be that because of the bad experience she had, as the man was getting serious, she was getting scared of
that I can't handle it.
That she wasn't ready to take it.
But she didn't know that when she was taking his money for the two boys.
It was
she
a
didn't
nice
know
man.
that. You see?
I'm sure she didn't.
Philip, I hope you learn from these things. Come out from behind the pillar and look at me. This is they say Ojuloro wa. Say all these diable meetings you are hearing when you finally get. When are you getting married, sir? Next month.
Philip, please know that love is an action word.
It's a lie.
Love
Philip,
is a doing word. So you can't love and not give.
Philip, there is no love. Love thyself. Because what you say is the man helped her with her two sons and everything. Look at, he's even aggrieved. He was in love. He said, I made that believe. He said he met this. She was a lovely looking woman. When the man says he's a lovely looking woman, he has consumed him.
No, but Uncle Jimmy, when people
that his body.
Uncle Jimmy, one thing people should know: when people walk out of a relationship,
yes,
it's not that her husband died.
She didn't walk out; she disappeared.
No. The ex-husband.
She said her ex-husband was worrying her, so she relocated.
No, so what I'm saying is, anybody walking out of a relationship has a baggage. She may have emotional issues and everything.
Okay, we have just about 3 minutes. Now the man is now saying that he is afraid to tune up his radio to that level that it was before. Do you blame him?
I don't blame the man.
I think you should move on. Yes, you should move on. If the woman can't, her explanation was that her former husband was.
That's not enough. You should communicate.
She probably even went back to the former husband.
That's a possibility.
After this man has spent all his money on the two boys.
No, stop talking about the money, Uncle Jimmy.
It's painful.
No, that's the expression of his love.
It is painful. It's not love. It's kind of love. To woman is love. To a man is an investment. Let's talk
when you love,
here.
you give. So that's a given.
Sometimes, do women give?
Women do.
They don't. They don't. If we take a census in this whole building,
maybe not in the same currency.
Why should it not be same? If we take a census now and in this whole building, we assemble all the women and say, when was the last time you bought something for your husband on your own that this year to be good for daily or this one? What percentage do you think we will get?
No, you can buy for your husband.
Why are you looking guilty?
No, I'm not guilty.
Well, you're looking guilty.
No, I just remembered.
I have the phone call of nonsense.
You can.
Let me ask.
I just remember. A colleague that gave the wife $20,000 to go to the US. So she came back. He just came and said, "Can you believe it that my wife bought things for herself and her two sons and didn't buy anything for me?" So I said, "Why?" She said she does not know my size. So if you see the guilt, it's because some women do that. But
why would a woman? Why don't women? There's some women who love but don't want to show it, and they think that it's dangerous for you to let a man know that you love him. I don't understand that logic.
No, what the man is a man's responsibility.
We have to go. Oh, Mrs. Fashion, I was just warming up. All right, we have to go, Mrs. Fashion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'll be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock. I have Mr. Kende Bangbeton, Honorable Kende Bangbeton, one of the spokespersons of the APC, and we are going to be talking about the Ashiwaju 2023 project. Don't go away. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.